This is Fallout New Vegas, a 13-year-old game that I'm sure a bunch of you probably never even played. But despite its old age, I've decided to revisit this game all these years later because they really don't make games like this anymore. See, in a game like New Vegas, you have the freedom to destroy every NPC you see, if you so please. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. So sit back and relax, get you a McDouble or something, I don't know. It's gonna be one hell of a journey. This guy that kind of looks like Dr. Phil patches you up. Somehow he saves you from death, even though you were blasted in the noggin in the apocalypse, but whatever. This gives you an excuse to jump right into the character creator. As you can see, I put a lot of thought and effort into my character. Next, we get to pick a couple of skills, but the one that really matters is that talk no jutsu. And now we take our first steps out into the Mojave. We get a bunch of notifications for the DLCs that we can't even access yet because we're a wimpy level 1. First things first.
I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
Got it.
Ugh, why he say it like that? So now, after that little interaction, we can come outside and talk to Joe Cobb. Joe Cobb is going to ask us to kill this guy named Ringo, and we're going to blindly just accept his assassination request. I pull up on poor Ringo here, and he's not a bad guy really. I lie to him and tell him everything's going to be okay, but he does have to die.
What you say? Oh, that you only meant well.
So we report back to Joe Cobb, and we let him know that Ringo is dead. Now, what Joe Cobb doesn't know is we were playing both sides.
We ain't got much in the way of supplies. So if you could shake down the old doctor and the store owner for some stuff, we'd be in good shape.
And you see, I have every intention of shaking down the good old doctor and the store owner, but not for Joe Cobb and his friends, for myself. So I murder Joe Cobb and I run, because his friends immediately try to blast me. So I make a run for it and I go back into the gas station that I murdered Ringo in. My thought process in this moment was I'm gonna just run in here and sleep for a really long time, and by the time I wake up, they're gonna forget about me.
Over here.
So yeah, you can see that's not at all what happened. Waited for me as I woke up and blasted me in my spine, but they didn't follow me once I went outside. So now I can do what I was actually trying to do this whole time. Like I said, I fully intended to shake down the store owner, and this is where our talk no jutsu comes into play. Since I killed Joe Cobb, the game is caught in a loop, so I can essentially shake down this guy as many times as I want. I can get free XP, free 9mm rounds, and free leather armor. Don't need all that shit, but I can sell it for the shit I do need. Alright, we got level 5, we got some stimmies, we got some ammo, and we got some armor. I'd say we're ready to make our way to Vegas. Right out the gate, I got attacked by more powder gangers, and to be fair, I get it. I murdered their friend. They got a right to be upset, but I got bigger shit on my mind right now. I'm trying to get to Vegas. So we just keep it pushing. We don't gotta kill any more powder gangers. And we come up on Neil's shack. Neil is a nice super mutant, very few of them in the game, but he comes up and he tells you that you're coming up on Black Mountain. He tells you that you should probably go away, but we don't listen. The reason we need to come to Black Mountain is because this is the place you can likely find your first companion. And for real, he's my favorite companion, because he don't care what the hell you do. He's a ride or die for life. And that's exactly why we come to save him first. Once you get to the top of Black Mountain, there's a bunch of super mutants that are gonna try and kill you if they see you, but we can just glitch the game once again and literally open this door through the fence. Alright, once inside, we go to the first terminal to get the password, then go to the second terminal to disengage the lock, and inside we find Raoul. And like I said, Raoul's a ride or die. You can kill any faction and he will still be right by your side, and he still repairs all your shit for you. So now the plan pretty much was just book it all the way to Vegas, because I'm still too weak to fight anything significant yet, but as my luck would have it, I ran into the worst enemy in the entire game, Deathclaws. I tried to fight him, but I did 0 damage. So I quickly realized this plan was not going to work, so I tried to just stay high, stay above them, outsmart them, and then I realized that they were running straight towards me. I tried to think fast. I didn't really know what the hell to do. I was kind of panicking here, so I just stood at the edge of this little rock, and I was like, yeah, they definitely can't get me here. I was wrong. Half my health in one hit. Alright, still on the rock. I angle up. I think, okay, they're stuck here. I'm just gonna shoot them from here. They definitely can't hit me from here. Wrong again. Damn near one-shots me. Here I had to think fast. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and so I just ran. And for some reason, they didn't follow me. I don't know. After a few minutes of running for my life, I pulled up on Camp McCarran, which is good because it means I'm getting close to New Vegas. there's the New Vegas sign right there. Before I knew it, I turned the corner, and there it was, the gate to Freeside. This is where we need to be, the dirtiest part of Vegas.
Want to get lucky? Head on down to the Atomic Wrangler.
Why, thank you, street hooker. That's exactly where we're going. And now that we're in the Atomic Wrangler, we gotta talk to good old James Garrett here. James Garrett gives us a quest. He wants us to go get a bunch of prostitutes. This dude's weird. The quest is called Wang Dang Atomic Tango. But we're not really going to do this quest. What we're really going to do is lure James Garrett back into the secret room back here, and he's going to get mad at us. And what we're going to do is straight murder him. Lots of straight murder, but you know, that's just how you got to do it. Now that James Garrett is dead, we make a run for it back to the old Mormon fort towards the front of Freeside. Here we can talk to a ghoul named Beatrix Russell. She was gonna be a potential prostitute to hire for James Garrett. Like I said, fucking weirdo. So this sequence of events we just did puts the game in another loop, and I can just tap A as much as I want and get a bunch of XP. So, you know, after a little while of tapping, this is where we got. So I pretty much tapped my way from level 5 all the way to level 20. See, this game has a bunch of replayability, and as a poor kid, I didn't have much money, so I played through this base game a lot. So I'll kind of just run through the things I did quickly here, because nothing I do is really a surprise to me from the base game. I saved all the cool people at Gomorrah, because, you know, some of them people in there deserve to be saved. Then I murdered all the cannibals at the Ultralux, because eating people is bad. And I reunited Ted Gunderson with his dad, Hick Gunderson. Over at the tops, I murdered Benny, because he needed to die. I upgraded the Securitrons. Had to. And of course, I installed Yes Man in the Lucky 38's mainframe, because we run this shit. I turned Mr. House into nothing, obliterated his chamber. I even helped Boone find out who killed his wife. I helped the king, and I got Rex a new brain. I helped the mutants over at Jacobstown, because Marcus is a cool dude. I even cured Lily's weird disease she had. I think. I'm pretty sure I have every companion in the game living in the Lucky 38, honestly. My boy Eddie, just floating around. Rex and Lily, always chilling with each other. Veronica in her power armor. I reunited the remnants and put them back into their bunker. And then they gave me this fire armor and said that they were going to help me in the Battle of Hoover Dam. I destroyed anything and everything that moved inside Vault 22 because, yes, it needed to happen. I helped the people of Novak by murdering all the ghouls over at RepCon. And I mean literally all of them. Had a little bit of too much fun murdering them, honestly.
Oh yeah!
I went over to Hidden Valley and became a paladin of the Brotherhood of Steel. I murdered everybody at the fort because having slaves is terrible, especially Caesar. Murdered the hell out of him and stripped him of his clothes. Then I sat in his chair because this is my chair now, bitch. Oh yeah, and I also got a Pimp Boy. Pimp Boy 3 billion. Now all that's left to do is take over Hoover Dam. But first, I gotta go through all the DLCs. Well, at least 3 of them. The first of the 3 DLCs we'll explore today is the Lonesome Road DLC. It was the only DLC I ever bought at the time, and honestly, it was the only one I really cared about, because really, playing through the DLC, it is what it is. You just talk to your robot companion Eddie the whole time, but it has so many cool armors just lying around that you can grab. You don't even have to fight anything for them. The next thing we're gonna grab is a quest item, actually. You have to grab it to progress the story. It's on this roof, and it's a laser detonator, and it does exactly what it says it does, detonates warheads with a laser. Now, the laser does 0 damage, like actually does nothing. But like we've been doing this entire time, we're going to go ahead and glitch the game some more. See, this gun is a little bit broken, and certain ammo types you can equip will actually fire from the laser detonator. And what we're going to use is anti-material rifle rounds, specifically the explosive ones, because they do an ungodly amount of damage. This isn't the only thing you can trick the gun into shooting, but this is what I like to use mostly. Now I have successfully gathered all the armor and weapons I need from this DLC. Really, it was just this cool elite armor. I also murdered the final boss and stole his drip, so we can go ahead and move on to the next one.
Let's get moving. We got a long road ahead of us. The paths we're following are slow going, so you might as well keep your ears open and listen to what old Jed has to say. The Legion appeared in Arizona. I reckon you know all about them. Turns out Caesar's first war chief, the Malpace Legate, was a new Canaanite, Joshua Graham. Legend goes that Graham was the meanest, toughest son of a bitch in the whole damn Legion. Well, at Hoover Dam, the Malpace Legate finally met his match. Hanlon and Oliver kicked his new Canaanite butt right back over the river. Caesar had to make an example for the others, to show them that even at the highest level, failure wouldn't be tolerated. He had Graham covered in pitch, lit on fire, and thrown into the Grand Canyon. People say he didn't even scream on the way down. Not long after, some of the slaves and tribals started to talk. Said Graham wasn't dead. Shouldn't have been any surprise. All this talk bothered Caesar, so he forbade anyone from speaking his name. Wanted to erase Joshua Graham from history. He got his wish. Joshua Graham disappeared, and in his place came legends of the burned man walking the wastes. All right, people. Been a long couple of weeks, but here we are. Zion, get moving, and keep an eye out for tribals.
So we walked about 15 feet and immediately we got ambushed by tribals. They started just blasting, no words, no yelling, no nothing, and they got assault rifles and hunting rifles for whatever reason. I finished off the last of the tribals, but it was far too late. Literally everyone was dead, and I mean everyone. I mean, bro, they even killed Jed Masterson. He was the narrator. So I continued on my journey, alone now, because everyone is dead, and I immediately started getting blasted at again. But, to my surprise, someone came up to my aid. Another tribal, but a different one. Straight executed this man.
Hoy! Whitelegs don't leave survivors often. You're some kind of lucky, let me tell you. Joshua Graham, he leads our tribe. Come, I can take you to him. Hold up. See that log over there? Take a closer look. There might be some good stuff tucked in there.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
So, me and Follows Chalk continue on our journey now. I'ma just call him FC. I'm not saying that every fucking time.
Why do you carry all those bottle caps anyway? They jangle like crazy.
Don't hate me, 'cause I'm beautiful.
After FC was done disrespecting my strange form of currency, we finally made it to the Dead Horses camp, where we'll find Joshua Graham.
We should have given you a better welcome on your first visit to Zion. But from what I hear, the Whitelegs beat us to it. Whitelegs seem to be the only visitors we have these days, and I wouldn't have expected anyone from the Mojave to come looking for us. I don't know if you were close to the other members of your group, but you have my sympathy. I pray for the safety of all good people who come to Zion, even Gentiles. But we can't expect God to do all the work.
No, we cannot expect God to do all the work, and that's why he's making me do all the work. And he wants me to go find some compass, but I have other things I have to do first. Just one thing, and it's in Stone Bones Cave, so that's where I'm going. And since I've yet to discover any locations yet, I have to walk all the way there, and of course I ran into some enemies on the way, but they posed pretty much zero threat. After a few battles and a long journey, we finally made it to Stone Bones Cave. Now, I can finally get the treasure that I took all the time out of my day to walk all the way over here to get. Don't be disappointed, it's just some armor, but it is worth it. This is the Desert Ranger combat armor, and to be honest, I just wanted the helmet. It goes really good with this elite armor. After I grabbed that very crucial item, we can now go get the compass that Joshua wanted us to get. It's down here in this crashed school bus. Once I found the compass, I just activated it, and I was able to repair it with my super high repair skill, so nothing much needed here. We just go on and go to the next task. So the next thing I needed to grab is some walkie-talkies, and they're inside of this fishing lodge. And as soon as I walked in here, FC pulls out his Glock like he's John Wick and just completely decimates this green gecko. Again, I walk into this room and he immediately just blasts them with this 45, bro. Like, this man is insane. You can see I was in awe. After FC got done decimating all the geckos, I found the walkie-talkies I was looking for in this locked cabinet. Next, I had to go find a medical supply kit, but on my way to the next location, I literally came across a gang war. FC was about it. Like, he is about it with this gun, bro. These dudes out here fighting with wooden clubs and shit. FC is not playing that. I also decided to join in on the fun. Why not? Then I stole some drip and became one with the tribals. Alright, after that gang war, we go to the ranger station, and here I can probably find the medical supply kit. FC completely decimates this scorpion. Didn't deserve that, most likely, but you know, FC's about it. Turn the corner and murder another scorpion, and there is our medical supply kit. I also have high medicine, so I can just salvage it and get on out of here. We arrive at the final stop of our collectathon, because we need to gather a bunch of lunchboxes for some reason. FC destroys the bugs in here, as per usual. Then I go ahead and just grab a bunch of these lunchboxes, because you know, I don't really know why I'm doing what I'm doing half the time. I'm just doing what I'm told. Now, we have everything Joshua asked us to get, and we're supposed to bring him to some guy named Daniel.
You are the one Joshua Graham sent to us. Blessings of the Father in the cave on you. Daniel is waiting for you.
I need you to scout out some locations for Whitelegs and try to recover a map of Grand Staircase.
a wilderness area to the east.
Now that I think about it, it's kind of funny that these random people just ask me to go do a bunch of random bullshit for them, and I'm just like, anything to help, I'll do what I can. And very sad to say, this is the last of me and FC, unfortunately. He said he had to go back to the dead horses, man. I can't be upset at him. Gotta go back to his homies. Although, as soon as FC leaves, we get another companion who literally comes running up right after him. Her name is Waking Cloud. She's okay. She's got a bear glove and a bald ass head. Kinda looks like 11 from Stranger Things. She's not as good as FC, but she'll do. As I was leaving, I saw Joshua just standing in the middle of the river. Not sure why. He's always spouting just some random Bible verse, unsolicited, mind you.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
In short, what Joshua is saying is that the Whitelegs, which are the bad tribals, they either all have to die or they can leave peacefully, but those are the only two options.
Given those two choices, yes, in the best of all possible worlds, they will just leave us in peace, but they won't.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I put my talk no jutsu skill at 100, so we'll see about that. But before we do that, we have to set some explosives and get rid of these bears. We gotta get rid of the bears because I guess it's clearing a path for the Sorrows to escape through. I also had to clear out a couple more Whiteleg camps, and for some reason these guys got way harder at the end here. Maybe they just got a power boost because it was towards the end of the missions, but they took me a lot longer to kill than the other ones. Next, I came across a green gecko that was just in the prime spot for assassination, so I took my shot.
No! God, please, no!
I was not expecting that. That was the first time I died through this playthrough. I mean, he really just hit me with a mean right hook. Anyway, I carried on with my mission, and this motherfucker decided to come back. He pulled back up on me, bro. He really wanted the smoke. This battle had to be resolved. We had to finish this, or he was just gonna keep coming back. He even murdered this guy in front of me, trying to kill me too. I had to do what I had to do. I went ahead and finished off the Whitelegs like I was initially supposed to do before I pissed off that giant gecko. Next, it was imperative that I went over here to beat the shit out of these smaller geckos. They had to pay for their big green brothers' crimes. Here I was just trying to admire my cool outfit and the cool scenery. Didn't realize I was on a fucking mountain.
Stupid!
After all that, I report back to Daniel and let him know I did all the bullshit he asked me to do.
Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed.
Just gotta get these fools to safety and we're home free. I leveled up my character a bit more, damn near everything's at 100, and now we're ready to go. Some more chaos ensues as I attack more Whiteleg tribals. They have a bunch of flame swords, so I'm on fire a lot in this encounter. Again, they're a little bit harder than they have been before, but not too hard. They still get schmacked. After I murder what seems to be the last of the Whitelegs, I come upon their war chief, Salt Upon Wounds. Like I said, Talk No Jutsu is an actual skill in this game, and he falls victim to it as well.
I listen. Kill you. Maybe I not. Maybe.
All in a day's labor serving the good Lord.
So, now I gotta talk to Daniel, and thinking I have everything accounted for, I tell him, yeah, everything's good, let's go. But apparently I missed something.
You let them die!
Now wait up, hold a minute, let who die? No, we cannot have this. After I reloaded my save, I realized that there was an optional part of the mission. There was some extra sorrows that I could have saved that I just missed for some reason, and I guess you can't fast travel during this mission for I don't know why. So yeah, I had to run all the way there, but I did it because Daniel made me feel bad. After what was like literally 15 minutes of running, I finally pulled up on these last bit of Whitelegs. They were keeping some Sorrows captive in this watchtower, but me and Joshua went ahead and murdered them and freed the Sorrows, and now Daniel won't be mad at me.
You've done more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you, and may God protect you for all of your days. Goodbye.
And so it was that the conflict between the New Canaanites and the Whitelegs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
Damn, man. R.I.P. to Jed Masterson. Still narrating from the grave. But now we gotta move on from Jed, man. Time to go to the next DLC. And this one is slightly better, I would say.
In the years before the Great War, Big Mountain had been the home to the brightest minds of the 21st century. scientists of vision were drawn to the facility to tackle the greatest technological challenges of the era. The hopes and dreams of a century became realities in the electronic forges of Big Mountain. The nucleus of this research was the Dome, a huge stone facility that held the labs of every science known to man. It was a think tank where no problem could not be solved, where no question could not be answered. On the night of October 23rd, 2077, the scientists received an answer that put all their questions to rest. In the aftermath, Big Mountain's silent experiments went to sleep, their creators slowly dying in the new world that had been left behind.
So, I wake up on a balcony, surrounded by a force field. The current objective is find out where the hell I am, and I've been stripped down to nothing but my helmet and a patient gown. That's crazy. I walk inside to try and find out where the hell I am, as the game instructs, and honestly, the robots you find in here are amazing. They're straight up comic book characters, honestly. They even got a comic book style beef with this other robot. I'ma just show you.
You are in the presence of the mighty think tank of Big Mountain, the collective geniuses of... We! Why, Oppenheimer, which one of you self-professed geniuses has been adjusting my volume knob?
You always do this. You always demean me in front of guests. And it's not O, all right? It's...
Enough! Either of you do it again, it'll be the last time. Now... Great. Now I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about? It's a lobotomite. Here, in the dome. A transmission from the Forbidden Zone, coming right at us. If it isn't my old colleagues, the mighty think tank of Big Mountain. Big fools, all of you. It is I, Dr. Mobius, transmitting from my dome-shaped dome in the Forbidden Zone, a zone that is, yes, forbidden to you. Even now, my deadly robo-scorpions swarm across Big Mountain with their pincers and pointy laser tails. Soon, all science will be mine! That's all. Goodbye, Mobius.
Yeah, so like I said, they got some comic book beef. The think tank and Mobius, they don't fuck with each other. So basically what the robots want us to do is go get a bunch of data from these research centers and also collect personality files for all the appliances in the sink. The sink is a room that they basically give us as a personal suite, you could say. I should probably also mention that they extracted my brain somehow, and my brain's controlling my body from another area, because you know, science. I walked outside and suddenly I remembered I had this laser detonator, and this poor guy, he just got the full force of all of it. Then I came across a couple of dogs that have bark projectiles, which is kind of crazy. In order to find this DLC, you have to tune into a mysterious broadcast, and up until this point, I had just realized that it was playing classical music the whole time. There we go. While I was nearby, I decided to follow the marker to find one of the personality files, and what I found was a bunch of crazy mutants trying to murder me. There was literally an enemy named Patient Zero. So yeah, I murdered them as quickly as possible, grabbed that file, and got the hell out of there. I followed the nearest quest marker to me, which led me to this tunnel, walked inside, and did not see this turret, so I started getting blasted by him. Very rude. You're gonna get blown up for that, good sir. I walked down the hallway, grabbed the file, and I got up out of there. The next closest place was Higgs Village. It's basically a remake of Tranquility Lane from Fallout 3, if you played it. There ain't shit in here really, but a bunch of old houses. But there is also a Deathclaw alpha male back here. It's shrunken in size, but still has the same exact power. So I murdered that motherfucker. It needed to be done. After murdering the mini Deathclaw, I grabbed the personality file I was looking for, and then I was on my way. After that, the next closest thing to me was this X2 transmitter. I walk inside and find myself surrounded by a bunch of protectrons, but they're not very good at protecting anything. I get a new task to climb up to the top of this building. Simple enough. So I murder these protectrons and go about my business. There was also a personality file in here, so 2 birds with 1 stone. Can't be mad at that. I got to the top of the building and there was an antenna, and I could actually grab it and use it as a weapon. Not sure why I was supposed to steal this, but it made Mobius mad, so I guess that's good. Whenever Mobius gets mad though, he can immediately send robo-scorpions my way. Not sure how they all get here so fast, but still, I'm ready for smoke. The next closest marker actually led me to this cave called the Cuckoo's Nest. I walk inside and it's filled with a bunch of lobotomites. The lobotomites are just the random NPC enemies that are out here, but they're pretty much in here worshipping the personality file. I'm sorry y'all, but I gotta steal your god. Then I came across this mysterious cave, and it looked like my marker was pointing me here. I walked inside the cave and everything was fairly tame for the most part, just a weird green glow, but nothing too crazy. I heard something around the corner and it was just a bloatfly, so I murdered him with 1 good hit. And then I came across the mother of all bloatflies. Now granted, this was still a bloatfly, so I didn't expect much of this battle, and I was wrong. I was very, very wrong, but I still took my shots. And as you can see here, despite me bombarding him with infinite missiles, he barely took any damage at all. And then he fired back. So yeah, this is one of the hardest enemies in the whole game. So I switched my ammo back to the anti-material rifle rounds, and now we're gonna try that again, this time for America. Alright, this goddamn bug has forced my hand. I gotta put on my power armor the remnants gave me, and now I gotta play smart because I'm not trying to die a 3rd time. Me and this bloatfly, man, we were having a real tactical battle, to be honest. Like, this had to be one of the hardest enemies I ever fought in a playthrough of Fallout New Vegas. I don't think I ever fought him up until this playthrough, and I see why. I had to play peekaboo through these fucking rocks just to not get hit by his slime blast. Literally, like, maybe 3 of his balls hit me and I'm dead. I'm mashing down on the D-pad to use stim packs just so I don't die. And on top of that, the bullets that I shoot even hurt me too if I hit something close to me. It's a hard battle. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna fight this thing until it dies. And that's what I did. This thing was piecing me up towards the end here too. I really thought it might kill me. And even in death, this man is throwing out attacks. Straight up blows himself up. I jumped down here thinking the personality file is gonna be in the scoop pile. It's not. I'm not even in the right area. So yeah, the file was just chilling in this truck outside. Didn't even need to go inside that cave, but whatever. And I think this is the last one we needed. Well, at least for now.
Old auto dock's back online. Let me just fire up the old interface for you.
The auto dock is pretty much the only useful one of these guys in here. He can install upgrade implants if you find them scattered throughout Big Mountain, but we don't have any yet, so we'll come back to that.
Damn, it's good to be back online. You! Hey, you! Yeah, you! Got any mugs?
Muggy's another one of these guys I enjoy. He has pretty much no use, but he's obsessed with coffee cups, and I think that is hilarious.
Of course you don't. Why would you? You're not an insane robot obsessed with coffee cups. To you, they're just worthless junk. What do you want, mugs, huh? You some kind of sick mug hoarder? Oh God, give me the coffee cup, please. It's sitting there in your pack, taunting me.
And then there's a pair of light switches that apparently hate each other for some reason.
Oh. Her. Trust me, sweetie, you're better off not thinking about that frigid little ice queen. That bitch, she thinks she's so much better than everybody just because her processors are bigger.
And there's also this sink that always wants to clean me.
Oh God, look at you. You're filthy. I suppose you'll want to clean up then?
And there's this book chute that only prints out blank books.
Blank books are better for the mind, citizen. Real science by real men in lab coats has proved that introducing outside thoughts confuses the brain. Blank books encourage the reader not to question, but to blindly and zealously accept what's put in front of him.
Okay, very, very weird book chute, but still might not be as weird as this research station.
You got some plans for me, don't you? Yeah, I can smell it all over you. Ah, yeah, baby. Just slip it in there. All the way down in that dark, moist earth.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ, bro. Buy me dinner first. Anyway, now that we have installed all of the personalities into the appliances of the sink, we gotta go find their upgrades.
Your cooperation is required.
While still doing the same thing of following the closest quest marker to me, I stumbled upon the X-13 research facility. Here I'm supposed to get more data and find some sort of stealth suit. Not entirely sure why, but that doesn't matter in this game, we just do what we're told. I walked around for a little bit and found the gloves. Then I found the chest piece, and also a little prototype of the Chinese stealth armor. Looks kinda cool. Then I found the boots, just chilling on this table as well. And now I had the full prototype stealth suit. Honestly, this suit is a disappointment because the design is kinda ass, and what kind of stealth suit talks?
Hello, it's nice to meet you. Who can I hide you from today?
Yeah, the stealth suit's pretty ass, but it's a good thing I didn't work that hard to get it. And like the suit, the missions that go along with the stealth suit are kinda ass too. But it takes almost no time at all, and you'll see why. Basically, all you have to do is begin the test, walk through this door here, just walk across this room, jump over this railing and fall down into this room, and open the safe, grab the document, and that's literally it. You pretty much just have to do this 3 times, basic, advanced, and I think expert, and it's essentially the same test every time, with slight variations added to it, but since my lockpick skill is at 100, I just open this door and do the same thing. The next test you have to do, however, is a little bit more difficult. What you have to do is sneak around and avoid these little sensors that are scattered around this area, and honestly, I had no idea where they were the entire time. I was just guessing here. They just have little beeps that go off, and if the beeps go off too rapidly, you lose, and if you destroy a robot, you lose. You have to literally walk up behind each robot and deactivate them without setting off any of these beeps or any of these tripwires. It actually was pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. After a couple times and a bunch of panicking, I was actually able to sneak up behind all these robots and deactivate them without none of them seeing me. Don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Firmware updated to version 1.4.
As soon as I'm done with my task, Mobius sends more Robo-Scorpions my way, but honestly I'm tired of these bugs, so I just ran. The next closest marker to me was this DNA preservation lab. Inside was pretty treacherous, I'm gonna be honest. These Night Stalkers immediately ran at me wanting the smoke, so I obliged. They seem to be guarding this file, so I'll just go ahead and take that. I go to the other side of the building and it's filled with Cazadors, another super annoying enemy in the game. But thankfully, because the robots took out my brain and a bunch of other body parts, I can no longer be poisoned or have my head crippled. It's actually really nice. I continue my assault on these bugs because I know probably at the end of this tunnel there's going to be another file that I need to grab. Pretty much every door I open, I expect there to be a Cazador inside, so as soon as I open I just start blasting, and this worked perfectly. The next location was this random Securitron facility that they have in here for some reason. There's a bunch of damaged Securitrons in here and they all got some weird looking faces on them. I even got an achievement in here for blowing up so much shit throughout this playthrough. Finally, I destroyed the last Securitron and I grabbed that Muggy upgrade. The next place I was led to was the X8 facility. This is a former high school, and one of our robot friends, Boros, went to this high school, and he's prepared some tests for us for some reason. This is the only way to retrieve the student records from the facility. Not sure why, but I enjoyed it.
Attention, students. This is the pre-recorded voice of your pre-recorded principal, Dr. Principal Boros. Betsy Bright, who turned me down to the high school dance so you could smoke with Richie Marcus.
Damn, man. Boros dealing with some real demons. Betsy Bright haunting this man. And that goddamn Richie Marcus. We get the last of the student records, and now we can move on to the next part of the test, because there's a next part now.
You got to the residential test. This is really Boros, by the way. Hello again. None of us thought you would get this far.
So as you can see, the robots had very little faith in me, but I proved them wrong and I got here. And now they're telling me I'm about to be some favorite treat to something named Gabe, but they don't know nothing about me, man. I already fought the worst thing in the whole game, that fucking bloatfly. Gabe ain't about to be nothing. Turns out Gabe is just a giant version of those Barky Bark dogs from earlier. And again, this is nothing compared to that fly. So yeah, after I murdered Gabe, a countdown started happening between the robots at the think tank. I'm supposed to be searching all of these digging spots for an audio sample of Gabe's bark. This one's actually kind of cool. When I get the sample of the bark, I can start shooting down all those blue force fields all over the map. Honestly, pretty useful. And as I was looking for the audio sample, the robots in the background kept counting down. And honestly, I was just kind of curious to see what happened when they got to 1.
4, as in forbidden. Do you hear me, think tank? It is I, Mobius, hacking your freaquinosity.
Mobius? 3, as in we.
as in we are in trouble. That didn't rhyme. 2, as in too late. And 1, as in...
And again, here we are with the teleporting Robo-Scorpions. How do you do this? I gotta respect the loyalty though. These men will pull up for the smoke as soon as this man starts screaming. And now that I've got the little force field destroyer gun, I can go and finish the final test that I wasn't able to complete earlier. This is pretty much just the upgraded version of retrieving the students' files, but now instead of robot dogs attacking you, it's night stalkers, and there's also the blue force fields all over the place, but all in all it's not that much harder. And after that we retrieve the files and complete our final test at X8. Next we hop on this terminal and we grab those results, and now we can go back to the sink and install all of those upgrades into our friends.
Oh please, please tell me you brought me some coffee cups.
What's the haps? You require some additional services?
Like I said, the auto dock is pretty much the only reason we went through all that bullshit anyway. He's got the only useful upgrades and implants, but I guess all the other guys deserve their upgrades too, cause you know, why not, for shits and giggles. But look at this, look how fast I can move when I'm crouched. This is what I call an upgrade. Assuming there's a big battle coming up, I have this guy repair all of my armor and weapons. Cost me 61,000 caps, but that's okay. I went to go speak with our good friend Boros, just to see if he had anything interesting to say, and he did not, but the man still definitely hates Richie Marcus, that is for sure.
The lobotomite animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps? Like Betsy Bright, who sat next to me in math, and her smoking Confederate Richie Marcus.
That's generational hate right there. Anyway, we can go ahead and tell Dr. Klein we're done with all the stuff he asked us to do.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated. What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. The door should be unsealed. Instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
Alright, and it seems we're nearing the end of Dr. Mobius. We pull up on the Forbidden Zone and there's a couple Robo-Scorpions guarding the gate. We blow them up and walk right inside. Once inside, we're greeted by a big electrical arc and a dark room. Not really sure what you're gonna see in here. And then you walk a little bit forward, and of course, another fucking scorpion. I am so tired of these scorpions, honestly, so I just completely turned this man into scrap parts. Alright, enough with the goddamn scorpions, please. Now that we've relegated this man into some scrap metal, we can continue forward and confront Mobius.
The neutron's attached to the meson. Meson's connected to the proton. Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. Your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
As you can see, Mobius isn't the evil bad guy everyone expected him to be. He's not quite as he seems. He actually seems pretty chill. So I had a bit of a dilemma. I didn't want to kill this guy, so I let him explain himself.
Yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped.
Basically, by Mobius's calculations, He thinks all the robots at the think tank would be bad if they got out or left the think tank, so he devised a plan to keep them there, occupied as he said. And it's pretty cool because all of their names represent a circle or infinity, a loop. So I think Mobius is kinda in the right here. I'm gonna kinda side with him on this one.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended.
Now all we really gotta do is go talk to our brain.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been? Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again? Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie? Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, Dick, unquote. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules. First, showers! Second, regular checkups. Regular, mind you, and from a reputable doctor. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got a deal. Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really. I'm not going with you.
So yeah, the brain got some pretty good points, not even gonna lie. Can't be mad at him for that, but with a little bit of talk no jutsu, anybody can be convinced, even my own brain.
Good, go! Fine! I know it's great. Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the home Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead. Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
And my good brain, the plan was very simple. Talk no jutsu, of course, the most powerful weapon in the whole game. We convince the robots that everybody made peace, and we go on about our day.
Thank you for what you have done. The helping, that is. We like that.
And now that I've conquered the 3 DLCs I enjoyed throughout this game, there's only one thing left to do, and that is take over the Hoover Dam. I throw on my power armor that the remnants gave me, and I call in my homies for the air support. As I progress through the Hoover Dam, there's a couple of soldiers guarding the mainframe. Of course, I just use my talk no jutsu. Too easy.
Damn it all to hell, let's go!
And just like that, we can get past these soldiers and install Yes Man into the Hoover Dam mainframe.
That'll activate a certain army of Securitrons and set them loose to ravage the Legion. What do you say?
Hey, I say hell yeah, Yes Man, let's go get him. Me and the squad rolled up like 6 people deep, 4 of us in some power armor. They was not expecting this, not in the slightest. On top of that, got a giant Securitron army. It's over. We open the gate with straight vicious intentions. I murder the first man I see instantly. As I make my final push up this mountain, I take a second to just sit back and look back at all of our accomplishments. We've come so far in such a short amount of time. But now, time for the final battle.
An envoy of Vegas, yet you carry yourself for battle. If so, you cannot truly be of that city of cowards. I see you fight with words, like all beneath the flag of the bear. Let us hope your skill with weapons proves greater. Hoover Dam has never seen the mass strength of the East. Only legates such as Graham, who deserve the fire Kaiser blessed him with.
I actually like this character quite a lot. His armor's cool, his voice is cool, and just like any other character in this game, he can be defeated with talk no jutsu, but if you say the wrong word, he will still attack you.
Retreat. Retreat. I was a fool to listen to you. You know nothing of who I am. I shall make a cape of your skin, and your skull. It shall sit by my side, mute, watching as my armies march west.
Okay, he know we just talking here, right? I mean, we just getting people interested in the fight. Because I'm sorry, is this crazy?
So then me and him just start fighting. And I didn't even do this on purpose, but I was using this sword through most of my playthrough, and it just so happens that a sword is his weapon of choice. Pretty poetic, honestly. What's not poetic though is this man running in the middle of our battle. Now granted, we were fighting him like 5-1. I probably would have ran too, but he's an NPC. He's supposed to accept this L, but he just was not having it. He straight up gave up midway through and said, "F this," but he still had to die. I then desecrated his lifeless body for running away from our battle, and I stole his helmet as a trophy. As I was about to leave and go on my victory tour, this NCR bastard busts in and tries to steal my victory, but I'm not gonna let that happen.
And, well, these boys with you? Hello there, Smiley. Guess it ain't no secret how you, I say, can you ask them to put their weapons down? I would sooner spit on the grave of my dead mother than let some courier walk the wasteland fuck talk to me like that.
And again, that's exactly what he's gonna do, because these NPCs just keep underestimating the power of that talk no jutsu. I'm telling you, best weapon in the game.
I know what those robots of yours can do on a bad day, and I'm not eager to toss lies at them just to make a point. Come on, man, we're moving out.
And just like that, this courier walk the wasteland fuck has talk no jutsu'd his way all the way through Fallout New Vegas. Sorta kinda. We blew up a lot of things along the way. If you made it this far, like the video and consider subscribing. You must have enjoyed it if you got this far into the video. With nothing more to add to our journey, I will catch you all in the next one.